George, with a population of only about 160,000, is the second largest city in the Western Cape. The city is synonymous with the Outeniqua Mountain Range and the pass that cuts through it, connecting the semi-tropical region of the Garden Route to the semi-desert of the Little Karoo on the other side of the mountain. Today, however, I'm exploring a route in a mountain range that are entirely unfamiliar to me, the Kammanassie Mountain Range, which is hidden behind the famous Outeniqua Mountain Range, and whose foothills can be traversed via the Kammanassie Road. I will also take advantage of the region's rich variety of traditional padstalle, Afrikaans for farm stalls, which specialize in local produce. My stop for my morning coffee and breakfast on the road is Alvis Brew, close to my starting point in Harold's Bay. Alvis Brew is a creative take on the traditional padstall concept by the 2010 South African Idols winner, Alvis Blue, featuring top-shelf food and coffee and views over the surrounding farmland, the Outeniqua Mountains, and the airport runway. They create a vibrant sense of culture and atmosphere with their creative nomenclature, their humorous signs and announcements that are constantly changing, and the creative songs and sayings of their singing baristas. With coffee and food on board, I stop at the petrol station to fill the tank, buy some water for what's already shaping up to be a hot December day, and to get the sea air washed off the windows so that we can properly take in the views that lie on the road ahead. I've been excited about driving the Kammanassie Road ever since learning of it from Charles and Hannah Ferreira, who own the Tolbos Trading Restaurant in nearby De Rust. You can watch the video I made about that trip to Klaarstrom, which ended up leading me into the heart of South Africa, by clicking the link now appearing on your screen. I called one of the properties on the Kammanassie Road in advance to make sure the road is passable with a normal car. The owner assured me that his 90-year-old mother still drives the road daily in an ordinary sedan, so I should be okay. Although I forgot to explicitly ask, he also didn't mention anything about damage from the recent floods, whose aftermath impacted some of the surrounding roads on my recent trip to Klaarstrom. Despite the property owner's general reassurances, flood damage remains an unconscious thought in the back of my mind. I cross the Outeniqua Mountains and settle onto the famous R62 scenic road. We will stay on this road until we reach the Buffelsdrift Road, where the tarred roads end and the dirt roads begin. The Buffelsdrift Road is the quickest connection to the Kammanassie Road according to Google Maps, which I assume also means that it's in relatively good condition. There we go, Buffelsdrift. I'm completely immersed in the countryside by the time I roll down the mountain slope to the Kammanassie Road in the valley. After cresting a hill, I encounter my first farm on the Kammanassie Road. It's immediately apparent that these mountains are rich in water, which feeds the farms that are famous for the delicious fruits that they produce. I'm enjoying the adventure out here, and this is quickly becoming my favorite country road to date in South Africa. I want to get to know the beautiful environment and the people who call it home. A low water crossing like this is called a drif in Afrikaans, and they are traditionally ubiquitous in the rural parts of South Africa, which is why so many place names end with the word drif, including the Buffelsdrift Road that we entered upon. This drif is definitely seeing more water than usual. I don't have much experience traversing a drif like this, so I will have to wait for the next car, but I've only seen one car on the Kammanassie Road thus far, so I might have to wait a while. It takes over an hour for my luck to turn. This experience impresses on me how quickly driving the Kammanassie Road has become remote, both geographically and socially. Thanks, I'm lucky enough to meet this guy here. He made it on his motorbike, and there's a car.
That guy's also doubting if he can or cannot.
Yeah, he's gonna test it, eh?
Yeah. Which way are you going?
I'm going to Dijsseldorp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You'll find maybe a similar crossing to this.
Is it?
To Dijsseldorp, yeah.
Where are you coming from?
From Oudtshoorn.
Really?
I'm just taking a day's ride and drive, probably going to Prince Alfred Pass that goes over the mountains to Knysna.
Wow, okay.
To the coast, and then...
So you go down to Uniondale and then...
Yeah, you get the Avontuur.
Thanks.
Thanks like he does. Just keep your stay speed and go through.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, guys. I didn't catch this on film because I put my camera away to cross the drift, but as we said our goodbyes, the motorcyclist told me to enjoy the countryside, which strikes me as the perfect phrase to describe what one does out here on the Kammanassie Road. The countryside truly is raw out here. I take an opportunity to talk to some farm workers along the road for their perspective. They work on the lands, tending the fields or seeing to the livestock, and return home between and after tasks. They say living here is peaceful, but obviously very quiet. They rarely visit the towns and cities, traveling only to surrounding farms for company on the weekend, and they buy their food directly from the farmer. Little streams of water all along the road, sort of coming parallel to the road and then going into the bushes again. So calm and quiet here. I can truly feel that I'm alone out here as I'm filled with the peace and calm of the natural environment. I'm also experiencing a strong sense of adventure and the feeling that I want to spend the whole day out here. Adventure is just so instantly available on the Kammanassie Road. 5 minutes down the road, you already feel like you're getting out there, and then you keep going, and you just get further and further out there. There's nobody out here. I think about what the countryside is. Vast swaths of wilderness we have cleared to cultivate crops and livestock, which feed, clothe, and otherwise supply our civilization. I also think about the vastly different life experiences and perspectives that exist within this industry among the farmers and the laborers who work for them. I further contemplate the perspective of being born and raised in this remote environment when I pass a primary school on the road, set against this backdrop, with perhaps a minibus like this one taking you to and from the school. Perhaps you're starting out from a laborer's house on a farm, or perhaps you live in nearby Duiselsdorp. The poverty of farm laborers, and what you see in a place like Duiselsdorp, is difficult to process, especially amidst all this natural beauty. It makes one feel powerless, because the sad reality is that there are no easy solutions. Capitalistic enterprise and private property are essential for a healthy agricultural sector, and we have repeatedly witnessed the increasing poverty and famine that sets in when property and power are alternatively centralized in the state. I plan to grab a slice of pizza at the popular farm stall deli at the foot of the Outeniqua Mountains on my way back, so I get a move on to make it before closing time. I hit tar roads again in Duiselsdorp before taking the turn-off onto the N7, which will take me through the town of Oudtshoorn and back to the Outeniqua Mountains. As I drive, the images of the countryside continue to play through my mind, and I know that tonight, when I close my eyes, they will still be there. I come away from this journey with a sense that it has given me something essential that I needed. I also have a deeper appreciation for the ubiquitous agricultural lands on which we sustain our civilizations. And so here's where I'm gonna get the pizza.
Would you like a food? We do. We do yes.
So then I can choose anyone, right? Yeah. Okay. I'll have Walford Traveler and apple crumble, please. Yeah. That's for later. Popping back over the mountain is always quite a trip. You'll see what I mean.